Guys, welcome back to Moonlit TCG. Today I am bringing you the newest episode of the series that I am now calling Ritual Roulette. This week we are going over, as you can tell by the thumbnail, Nekroz. Nekroz is a archetype burgeoning in 2014 in, I believe, Secret Forces it was. It is a anti-extra deck ritual deck that focuses on either stopping your opponent's extra deck card, returning them back to the extra deck, or just general interruption. There are powerful cards in this archetype, such as Unicorn, which is just skill drain, and even Trishula, which is banish 3 cards. I will be first to admit this deck is nowhere near as good as it used to be, and sometimes I would argue that it's unplayable even with the new support. However, I have given it my best try and come up with a list as well as some combo. Alright guys, so what exactly is a Nekroz? As I stated, Nekroz is a ritual archetype focused around spellcasters and warriors that are specifically designed to stop your opponent from utilizing their extra deck to the fullest extent. This is done through various different means in the deck. This deck is able to utilize cards outside of archetypes. This deck is able to use things outside of archetypes such as Preparation of Rites, the Dogmatica engine, which is a really good second engine for this deck in my opinion, as well as any warrior or spellcaster support, as well as any water support you can find. However, this list that you guys will see me using is going to be focusing more on Nekroz themselves, as well as a supplementary Dogmatica package. This is to say that Nekroz does need some support in the modern era. But yeah, let's get right into the deck profile. Alright guys, here we are with the Nekroz deck list, and again, keep in mind, your opponent has to be playing from the extra deck for this deck to really facilitate doing anything. Which sucks, this is one of my favorite decks of all time, but it's not aged very well. Again, this is organized by the engine, and I want to go over each card by card in depth. First, there's Nekroz of Clausulus. You can discard this card to add a Nekroz spell or trap. There are no Nekroz traps. But on field quick effect, you can target a monster that was summoned from the extra deck, and I believe it's reduced its attack to 0 and negate its effects. Yeah. So it's just some sort of quick interruption. You're hardly ever going to end up with this on field, however, which does suck. But if you ever do end with it on field, it is really useful just for a kind of quick imperm sort of negation effect. Next, we have 3 Nekroz of Unicorn. This is a skill drain when it's on field for any monster summoned from the extra deck. You can discard this card from your hand to return a Nekroz card from your graveyard to your hand. That does come up late in game, especially when you need your higher levels or your ritual spells back in hand. But this is generally our going first play to just set up a skill drain and be an inconvenience to people. 2 Nekroz of Brionek. Brionek is, you can discard this card, add a Nekroz monster, and its on-field effect is you can target, I believe it's 2 face-up monsters on the field that were summoned from the extra deck, return them to the deck. Really good removal. It does target those, so that is the downside, but it's still a very powerful card with its removal effect and its ability to search. 1 Valk. When an opponent's monster declares an attack, you can discard this card to and banish a Nekroz card from your graveyard, immediately end the battle phase. And then it has another effect. During your main phase, you can tribute up to 2 monsters from your hand and or field. You do draw the same number of cards you tributed. This is really good, especially in conjunction with Shirt, because Shirt will get you another search on top of your draws. However, this is never going to be on field. If you put this on field, you're probably losing, and you're not going to win that game. Nekroz of Trishula, when it's summoned, it targets a card on field in your opponent's graveyard and in their hand at random and banishes them. And then its discard effect is it will negate an effect that targets a Nekroz monster. This one we usually summon going second. It's usually our end board play, and it's just super good. Unfortunately, it doesn't do as much as you would hope, but in a simplified game state, which is what we're trying to go for, it's enough to go for a game usually. Sophia, this is one, not Sophia, it's the same character, but it's Nekroz of Metaltron. Pendulum effect is if your Nekroz cards are banished, you can target 1 spell or trap card on the field, banish it. It's not really going to happen. Its on-field effect is you can target 1 special summon monster, banish it, and this card until the end phase. However, that is a once per turn, and it's just a quick removal effect. There's a lot of simple interactions with this deck. There's nothing really crazy. It's all just like 1-for-1s almost, which is kind of sad. Nekroz of a Reed Bear. This is your boss monster. You can discard this card and tribute up to 2 Nekroz monsters from your hand or field, and if you do, you Foolish Burial that many Nekroz. So again, if you're tributing Shirt, you're going to get a search on top of that as well. Its on-field effect is when a monster effect is activated, quick effect, you can tribute a monster and banish it. Well, you negate the effect to banish it, excuse me. So it's a Mecha. Really, really good. If you can put this up going first, you usually do. Sometimes you just slap this down and that's enough to win. Sure, it can be used to fulfill any ritual summon as the whole tribute, but when it's tributed, you can add any warrior Nekroz ritual monster from your deck to your hand, which is really, really good. Then we play 3 Advanced Swordsmen of Nekroz. When it's normal summon, you can special summon a Nekroz from your deck, and if you ritual summon exactly 1 ritual monster, you can use this as a full tribute. And give me 1 second, I don't want to misquote this next effect. This card is tributed by card effect. You can add any number of banished Nekroz cards with different names to your hand. So once we use Nekroz Mirror, it gets us back like our Clausulus, our Brio, and off of the new Quick Play, it gets us things back from that as well. Then we have Amelia, Dance Priestess of the Nekroz, excuse me. Same thing, it can be used with full cost if you're ritual summoning 1 exactly. But when this is normal or special summon, you can add a Nekroz ritual monster or ritual spell from your deck to your hand. If you have a warrior Nekroz ritual monster in your graveyard, you can special summon this card from your hand, or that monster can be on field and you can do it. So yeah, you summon Sure or Advance, this comes out. I believe Advance is a warrior, is he? No, he's a spellcaster, so it's only Sure. Kaleidoscope, you send the monster from your extra deck to ritual summon. This can summon more than 1 ritual monster at a time, which is why we play weird levels in the extra deck. Cycle, this one summons the Nekroz from graveyard by tributing monsters from hand or field. Just a really good reborn effect, but it can also ritual summon them from hand as well. Mirror, again, you ritual summon the monster from hand by tributing on field or banishing them from graveyard. Usually you're going to be summoning your higher level monsters with this later in the game. And then we have Nekroz Divine Mirror. During your main phase, ritual summon 1 Nekroz ritual monster from your hand or banishment by tributing monsters from your hand and or field, and or sending Nekroz monsters from your extra deck to the graveyard whose total levels equal or exceed the level. So you can send Sophia if she ends up in the extra deck. During your main phase, you can banish this card and 1 Nekroz monster from your graveyard, add 1 Nekroz spell card from your deck to your hand. So yeah, it does the same thing as all the other ritual spells in graveyard. You get to recur things. What's really good about this is it's a quick play, so you can ritual summon Trishula or a Rebear on your opponent's turn after you set everything up. Really nice surprise, but they usually know you have it by the time you're doing that. 1 Ecclesia, if our opponent controls a monster from extra deck, we can special summon it, and then we search another Dogmatica. Also can't be destroyed by monsters from the extra deck. Kinda good, just here for consistency. Maximus, you banish the Fuse and Synchro Xyz, so if you open Kaleidoscope and use it to ritual summon, this is already fulfilled. Then you send 2 monsters from your extra deck with different names. Your opponent does the same, except they can send 2 of the same. We send Herald, Toad, whatever we need, Titaniclad, or even Aggregator, so we have ways to search, add things back, pop, or negate something. Really, really good, and it also interrupts our opponent by getting rid of their extra deck somewhat. 1 Fleur-de-Lis, it's just a negation from hand if you have another Dogmatica. White Knight, we have to play this because it turns Nadir into a Nekroz Searcher by sending Herald. But when this is on field, when your opponent activates an effect as the next chain, you can look at their extra deck, send 1, and then you send 1 from yours as well. So again, it gets us searches during our turn and rips things from the opponent's extra deck, or it lets us out things depending on what we send. Albazoa, this one we ritual summon very often. It eats the opponent's extra deck alive once it hits board, and it's big as hell, so they're going to have a hard time outing it. Because for every 2 cards in their extra deck, I believe it is, for every 2 cards in their extra deck, send 1 card from their hand or extra deck to the graveyard, or they can choose to return all Fuse and Synchro or Xyz link monsters they control to the extra deck. But if you're going first, they're forced to send the cards from their hand or extra deck to the graveyard. 3 copies of Nadir Servant, you send the monster from the extra deck, search a Dogmatica with attack less than or equal to that monster's. Really good, that's why we have to play White Knight, so we can use Herald to send to get our Nekroz cards. Dogmatica Calamity, it's basically Nekroz Kaleidoscope for Dogmatica monsters. So we can send our level 8 targets, like Titaniclad, to ritual summon White Knight. We can send our level 12 target to ritual summon Albazoa. Really good. Then we're playing 1 Punishment. It's a Nekroz attack, but it also sends things from our extra deck to graveyard, so we get more extension and we get more searches from this. 3 copies of Prep of Rites. It searches most of our Nekroz cards, saving for the 4 big rituals now, which sucks, but it also gets our Nekroz ritual spells back from graveyard, so this searching ability is really helpful. 1 Reinforcement of the Army. It searches our Shura. It also searches Clausulus. And then 2 of the Mulcharme Fuelos. I hate this card. I say this every time I talk about this card. I hate this card. Extra deck, we have one Elder Entity Entis. When sent to graveyard, we pop a card. Titaniclad, this is purely here for its graveyard effect to either add a Dogmatica or special summon one during the end phase. Destiny Hero Dusktopia, this is just a level target. Dragon Master Knight, it's a level 12 target for Kaleidoscope and or Dogmatic Calamity. 3 copies of Herald of the Arclight, sent to graveyard, it searches a ritual. Sometimes we can go through all 3 of these in one turn, which is kind of insane. Wind Pegasus at Ignister, it's here for the graveyard effect, which is if a monster or another card you control is destroyed by battle or card effects, you can banish this card, then target one card your opponent controls, shuffle it into the deck. Just really good way to out things. Omega, it returns our cards from the extra deck that have been sent to graveyard back to the deck, including itself, so we always have something to send. Two-Toed, it recurs all of our Water Nekroz monsters back to hand. Aggregator, when it's sent to graveyard, it's a negation. Dynamondo, this is really good removal if we summon it using our ritual monsters, and it's a way to get our ritual monsters back. And then one Nephthys, this thing is a towers if we summon it using exactly 3 rituals. It doesn't really come up, but it can, so that's why it's in here, and when it's summoned, it's kind of hard to get rid of. It's basically Kaiju or bust. That is the list. I'm going to move on to the combos. Alright, so a lot of these combos are very derivative. In other words, they're doing the same exact thing, just using a couple different cards. Because there's a couple different ways we can go about this. As long as you have some sort of way to get to ritual monsters or a ritual spell, so it can be Brio, it can be Clouseless, it can be Prep, you can open Unicore, you can open Kaleidoscope. You have ways to get into your combo. However, in conjunction with these, you can use Endear Servant, that'll get you the full extent of the combo. However, if you don't want Endear Servant, there's other ways you can go around it. There's combos with Advance, which I'll get into here in a moment. But let's just show the standard combo. I will do it with Endear Servant, and probably the quickest way to do it, which is Unicore, because this way, you still lose to Droll. You're going to lose to Droll with this deck no matter what you do, unfortunately. But this is probably the quickest and easiest way. Also, Unicore could be Kaleidoscope for this quickest and easiest way, because this way we don't have to go through Brio and Clouseless to get into our Unicore or our Kaleidoscope. So either way, with this case, we're going to activate Endear Servant first, and we are going to send our Herald of the Arclight in order to grab us our White Knight. And since we have the ritual monster, we declare Herald, and Herald's going to grab us the ritual spell that we do not have. So in this case, we'll grab our Kaleidoscope. And then from here, we activate the Kaleidoscope, and we're going to send another Herald. Because let's keep in mind, Herald is not once per turn. So once this resolves, we declare the other Herald, and we get to search for our Dogmatica Calamity. So if we had Albazoa here, we would summon our Albazoa, but we don't have the Albazoa. So here we are going to activate this. If I can find the declare button. And we are going to send the Titaniclad to special summon the White Knight. And that will give us, during the end phase, a search off of Titaniclad, which will then get us into whatever we want. We can summon Ecclesia here, which summoning Ecclesia will then get us another search. That's up to you if you want to do it that way. Personally, I'm just going to grab the Fleur-de-Lis to hand. So just off of those 2 cards, we have a Skill Drain, we have something that's going to eat our opponent's extra deck and get us something else, and we have a Fleur-de-Lis. Not bad, not great. Alright guys, welcome to the test hands. I've tried to record the 1 card, 2 card advanced combo, and I keep messing it up. So I'm just going to skip that combo and go straight to the test hands. The stand's pretty good. It's just a pure kind of Nekroz hand at this current moment. However, that changes as soon as we go into the Clouseless plays. However, I am going to start by baiting Ash with Advance. We declare it and summon Amelia. Amelia then gets us a ritual monster or spell that is a Nekroz. So ideally we can get a bunch of different things. Going first, we can grab this. We can grab a lot actually. The question is, do I want to read there? Because we don't have a way to share it. And go Brio into a Reed Bear, which if we're playing into Droll is probably the way. So we can then Brio, grab us the Reed Bear. Because again, we can get a Reed Bear back, which is crazy. So yeah, let's go a Reed Bear, tributing these two, or tributing that one to Foolish Burial. We can send the Quick Play spell, which is actually the play here. Because now I'm going to Klausulus to grab me the Kaleidoscope. We're going to activate Kaleidoscope, summon this Arclight, special summon Unicorn. We then declare Arclight. And here, off of Arclight, we are actually grabbing Albazoa. Yeah, this is looking pretty good. It looks pretty good, so we can have extension later on. Yeah, it looks good for later on. Here we're going to activate the Calamity. And we're going to send the Dragon Master Knight to special summon Albazoa. We can banish this here. Banish Klausulus. Which will get us a mirror. Oh yeah, that's crazy, actually. Let's banish these two in order to grab a Nekroz mirror to hand. Then we are going to... no, we don't grab mirror. Mirror doesn't summon from graveyard. I keep getting it confused with Cycle. That's where I kept messing up in the combo too. So we activate Cycle, excuse me. We tribute Advance. Summon out a Reed Bear, so we have a negation. We declare Advance, which will give us back Klausulus and the Quick Play. However, we don't have anything in Banish that we can really summon or make use of, but we do have a Klausulus that we could utilize to summon as well. So we then can just set both of these here. And they have to, we obviously declare this, they send a shit ton of their extra deck, their hand, to grave. And then we have two Quick Play Rituals into a negate here. It's pretty good. And give me 1 second, we'll go to Testamp. Yeah, this is just kind of more of the same. We're going to normal summon the Advance. We are declaring it. And where's this? Oh, we've got both of these in hand already. So, off of Priestess, we can go on ahead and grab, I believe... that's rough, actually. Because we can grab Shuret. We can't grab Shuret. We can grab Trishula. We can grab the Breed Bear. Grab Sophia. We can grab Unicorn. Kind of just depends on what you want. I'm gonna grab Unicorn. And then we're gonna Clouseless. Clouseless getting me Kaleidoscope. If you want to here, you can make a rank 4 if you have it in the extra deck, but I do not. Because we're actually not locked, because we haven't done any Dogmatica plays. We're gonna activate this. Sending our Herald to special summon the Unicorn. Herald is gonna activate. And I think off of this Herald is where we grab the Mirror. And then we are going to go ahead and use Brio to grab me the Reed Bear to hand. Well, to hand, not grave. I can then send this to Graveyard, contribute this in order to Foolish Burial the Quick Play spell, which we can then declare its graveyard effects, banishing it, and do I banish Priestess? Either I banish Priestess or I tribute one from hand too. Yeah, okay, so we would have tributed this. Because we could have Foolish Burial another one. So yeah, we would have put Shuret in grave and banished Shuret in order to grab us a Nekroz cycle. Because now we can do this here and activate cycle. Yeah, we cycle, tributing this. Do special summon back. Do I special summon back a Reed Bear? Because we can also special summon this back to give us a negate. And then a Reed Bear is going to add back Shuret and that. No, we do summon a Reed Bear. And then we declare the advance effect, which will get us this to hand, this to hand, and then we've got follow-up in this and Shuret. This is going to be set here, and then a Reed Bear, we have Tribute Fodder here. Again, it's not much, but pretty annoying for your opponent. Alright, I will see you guys in my final thoughts section. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of did not want to record this final thoughts section because of what I actually have to say about this specific deck. It is highly disappointing that this new support for the deck does not push it to where I wish it could be. I would honestly argue that you would have better success with the Vendread list that I discussed. However, Nekroz is still fun, it's still super anti-meta. However, it does have its issues. It loses to almost everything nowadays, including Droll, like every other ritual deck. You're basically relying on your opponent using an extra deck, which doesn't sound like a tall order, but when you start playing it and you're playing in the low-tiered areas that you'll be playing Nekroz in and seeing success, you'll see a lot of flu and a lot of things that are not utilizing an extra deck. That situation, you're usually kind of screwed. Dogmatica is an excellent utility package for this deck. It gives you so many more options to do, and it supports your Nekroz monsters really well, especially when the Deer Servant can send Herald and get your Nekroz ritual monsters via Herald's effect. However, again, your boards are just not enough. Yeah, you can put up a Skill Drain, you can put up a Mechaba, but usually people are going to be playing through at least one. and they're usually going to be able to out your Unicorn very easily because he's kind of small. Now you can play a white relic of the Dogmatica ritual to help counteract that, but you're adding more bricks into the deck, which is kind of not the purpose of these videos. I love Nekroz. I wish it was better than it is, but yeah, do you want to have fun? Sure, play Nekroz, but I would not suggest it if you're going to be playing a competitive scene. I would suggest looking at the Mitsurugi list that I uploaded. It's really fun, and you can play through a lot. The Automatic Extenders make the deck super fun. This isn't supposed to be an ad for that, but like, this is why the Nekroz video has taken so long. I have not really found any better ways to play the deck, or even had much success with it, unlike Vendread, which is kind of strange, because Vendread is known for being bad. But yeah, hopefully the next discussion video will not take as long to make or get out. I have some ideas, some people have left some suggestions on my community post, and I will see which ones we get made. Anyway, this has been Movement TCG. Leave a comment down below what deck you'd like to see next. Keep in mind, rituals please, and I'll see you guys in the next video.